So I'm Chris Markgraf, I'm from Froggy's Fog, and we are a fluid and effects industry leader. We've been manufacturing fluids for, the better part of 15 years now. We were born out of the FEC industry. My family has that background with roller skating, laser tag, Redemption Center arcade, but we service most of the major theme parks within the world and other groups as well. So we want to start off with some of our new product lines. The point of this today is we, for the first time, have listened to our buyer as far as buying machines or becoming a machine manufacturer. That's the big launch. Everyone has known for years that we make fluids and manufacture some of the world's finest effects fluids. And they've asked and asked over and over again to have us do machines as well. And we've declined and declined and declined. So this time we've taken the notes over the years of what we liked about various and sundry machines and married them in to try and make better machines. And so that's pretty much what we've done. One of the things we want to talk about is the Boreas tube. I'm going to just pop him in. Go ahead and fire off the Boreas tube. Give it about 15 seconds. The Boreas tube is one of our new snow products, and what's great about it is all the business components are located down here in the road case, and only mounting a small head up high. The head can be put onto a hand motor where it flicks back and forth. And additionally, the ease of mounting, coupled with the 32-foot hose, makes it something that's a lot more effective in small confined spaces or higher elevations where you have difficulty getting in with a high reach. Particularly within the theme park community, this has been a hit. So this product is the Boreas tube. It is fully DMX-able, fully DMX caseable, and you can close the road case down and lock it away from guests so that they can't interfere or touch the controls. We additionally have added our quiet line. I'm going to step forward if you guys want to join me. And this will be the C4 Snow Quiet Cube. And as you can hear, it's very quiet. It's one of the things you notice. It's one of the quietest snow machines anywhere in the world. It makes excellent snowflake with nice coverage and very little audible noise, which is great for, again, theme parks and other venues where you want to have the magic of the effect without the noise associated with it. Go ahead and go with the C6 just for 5 seconds. There are a couple of models. That was a smaller model and this was the C6. It's basically the same thing. Does the same effect, but again, very quiet, just a larger throw, higher output. To give you an idea, we're running these only on about 30% output across the board as you're watching these machines run. Right over your head, if you'll step this way. C2, about 5 seconds. What snow machines of old have sounded like. And while these are more of a high-end consumer grade, lower-end pro grade, they're still a great machine. That's the S2 model. All of these machines, the flake sizes are fully adjustable completely. You can go from the finest of fine to the largest of large flakes. So that's all completely adjustable. Most also have adjustable fan speeds as well. Of course, what we were famous for in starting in the industry, as I mentioned, was fluids. That started with fog fluid all those years ago. So we've launched our own line and brand of the Titan series fog machine. The flagship machine of that line is the Titan 1650. Go ahead and go to 1650 Titan fogger for 10 seconds. The Titan 1650 really is what we consider our premier fogger for especially the theme park industry. It has a nice output, but still operates within a single 20 amp circuit on 110 power. The unit also has a quick connect refill tank, so many of the machines you have to go refill them, and when you're refilling them, you're having to take the tank off or pour fluid over the operating machine, which makes a mess. This one allows you to simply hit a quick clip, pull the old tank out, pop the new tank in, click, and literally in the time I've just explained it, the change out is done, and you can do all the filling and spilling in a back room where it's safe and away from guests. Go 1100 also. The 1100 is just a smaller version of the same thing. Titan series machine. All these machines have 1-year warranties. They're fully DMX capable. They also have onboard timer controllers, so you can control everything about the machine on board. That also carries back into that snow line as previously mentioned as well. So we have those lines. Behind those, you will see Hazers behind you. And if you want to turn around, right behind you, you'll see Hazers, of course, have become the new thing in the go down to the Hazers and skip all the Hazers have become the premier thing you see in concert touring and in certain mazes, laser tags, those type of things. We've moved away from foggers in that because water-based haze has been perfected. It's now usable, functional, has low consumption rates for high performance and high value. In some of the particular higher-end hazers you will see, for every $635 worth of fog fluid you would have consumed, you'll have been through $95 to $100 worth of haze fluid for the same time, distance, and coverage. So while the machine itself is a little more expensive on the front end, the value added on the back end and the longevity of the machine is where it wins. The other thing is the machine, I just mentioned longevity, lasts longer historically than foggers because you're not asking it to start and stop and start and stop and start and stop. Hazers are designed so that you can go from 0 to 100 percentile points and excuse me, too much talking in a trade show floor. 0 to 100 percentile points, so you dial in exactly the size space that you have, and it just runs and keeps that space at a perfect even palette with a veil, just like what you're seeing with the light accents on the video monitor. Go on back to the Hyperion. Up above you is the Hyperion Superjet. For years, we've all seen upshot foggers. This is a little different upshot fogger in that it contains a reservoir that also has compression in it. So it actually shoots out with a compressed force. Go ahead and shoot that Superjet once more. It shoots with a compressed force, so it gives a lot more push. The other thing it allows you to do, if we had multiple ones in sequence, and those do have LED lights to light the plume, if you had multiple machines in sequence, were we to put the traditional upshots, you would see a very slow. We could put 12 of these in a sequence, and because of the way the valves work with the compression, it'll go, and you can run them up and down the line very, very quickly. So that's a new piece of technology. As far as I know, we're the first ones with it here. So that's something we think that's going to be very successful because it now takes away some of the need for free release of CO2. And some countries are beginning to ban that free release of carbon. So you're looking at the CO2 jets we've all used for that type of effect over the years. They're in many countries already banned. So this is a solution that works just off good old-fashioned compressed air and fog fluid together. So go with the other other. Then of course we have the traditional upshot fogger, like you've seen so many other places. We've again built in a lot of the features that we like. We have the ability to color blend many colors. Still onboard timer, onboard effect, DMX controllable across the board. So those are all aspects of that machine that you'll see, and that's the Hyperion series of machines. Come around here for a second. We have a couple low foggers. One of the things we're talking about is the Titan Ice. That's been done before. We actually are patent holders on a couple of ice chilling technologies in another one of our lines, but we really like the blending of a traditional fogger with an ice hopper on the front. It presses it through. It's very simple. It works. And it's very affordable. This is even used within the consumer grade marketplace because it's affordable and it gives an amazing effect in the front yard. This allows you to have fog just creeping across the ground like you see in so many cemetery scenes, and that's where that's used and utilized. This technology is something we're advancing right now. Always before, to get fog on the ground, you've had to use ice or CO2 or dry ice, and those were your options. Well, the new technology is out now. Bear with me. That blends ultrasonic water. So we're actually breaking down water to basically a molecular level, which opens up even more bonding points, and blending it with traditional fog, and the two then bond to each other because the fog is hydroscopic. And so they bond, and we're actually, for the first time, weighting it by using a process rather than adding refrigeration. So we're actually using real water to weight the fog down and keep it on the ground. And that technology is advancing. This is a Gen 1 machine, so we're not pushing it at this show. We have our Gen 2, which will be the real marketable version coming up. We'll release out this spring. So one of the other things you're going to see is our Venus SB4 bubble machine. And there's some differences here. Always before, when you've had a bubble machine, you've had a big tray in the front that you fill up, and it makes a mess and it gets everywhere. It's hard to clean up, and they still have their place, no question about it. We still utilize that type of technology. But this has a closed system where the bubble is actually pumped in through it and into the wands. So you don't have all that mess at the end of the day. It's just another container. The importance of this for us is we are launching in the spring both our baubles and our edible bubbles. And they are bubbles that are edible. They taste like bubble gum, Dr. Pepper. You can mix them in flavors where they're flavored like cocktails and so on. But in order to do that effectively, we had to come up with a closed system for a bubble machine. You can't just pour that out and leave it in a tray to the open air, since it's something that's going to be consumable. And of course, in some of the testing we've done with kids, it's pretty, and adults, honestly, we all become the biggest kids when we see bubbles. But you see them running around, and they look like fish because they're trying to suck the bubble into their mouth, and it's phenomenal to watch them chase bubbles all over the place and then eat them. But they are a candy bubble, so that's something you'll see. One of the major networks will be covering that on their morning show coming up in April. I can't say which one yet, but one of them will be. So that's the Venus SB4 bubble machine. This is one of the things we've had a huge response to at the show. This is our patent. We're the first ones to ever come up with a 4-in-1 bubble fogger hazer. And it can function as 4 different machines within one machine. Of course, we're going to show it today in the mode that everyone loves here, which is the bubble fog mode. And it's filling the bubbles with fog, and when the bubbles pop, of course, it leaves a smoke ring where each one of them pops. And these things in all of the testing circles have been a hit. They're so much fun because you, again, can't resist the temptation to chase around a smoke-filled bubble and pop it so that you can play in the smoke ring.
I'm John with Pixelflex LED. We're actually just up the road from Froggy's Fog. It's a great partnership for us because we are a custom solution LED manufacturer. So we're not just here to just give you the same old LED wall, video walls. We're all about seamless, large format, custom solutions. So one of the cool things about working with Froggy, actually, their most recent project is they came to us with a problem. Their stuff doesn't set up fast enough. It weighs too much when it's in drayage. It costs too much money to have everybody set up. So we got them into a product specifically that's going to work with their trade show booths. It all goes into one case. Their whole trade show booth in a 10x10 goes everywhere for them. One guy can set it up by himself. It's super lightweight. They're saving in drayage. They're saving in labor, and it's just a great system. So it's been a really great partnership. We're still in the early processes, but yeah, we're working together on a lot of things. In terms of this booth here, marketing got together, and we wanted to do something different so that when you look all over the booth, you're seeing different experiences kind of everywhere you go. So there's a couple cool pieces we're doing. Mainly there's the halo above us. I don't know if you're going to be able to get that on film. You might have to back up or get a separate shot, but there's a halo up doing 4 different looks. That way you can get the, kind of see the Froggy announcements from all over the venue in a circle. So it's fairly unique. That's a 3.9 pixel pitch, so that's a retail industry standard in terms of resolution. And our boys made some custom content that looks really, honestly amazing on it. But it's been taking a beating. The snow machines have been pouring snow on them all show, so it's great to see some indoor rated product do a fantastic job in here. So we have indoor and outdoor rated solutions. We can do a large deployments in different needs. We're from Nashville, so we work with a lot of touring professionals, a lot of artists. Luke Bryan's one of our large clients, for example. So we come from beating stuff up, putting it back in the case, going to the next gig, repeating the process. So whether it's a permanent install, whether it's a semi-permanent, or even a trade show application, we can do both sales and rental through our partners, through our channel partners. So one of the other solutions, if you want to take a walk, we'll go over this down here. When you're filming LED, you usually want to go to a little bit of a soft focus or do a focal stop because it is digital video. It's kind of like throwing it at a TV or throwing it at your computer screen. So soft focus is usually best. But the cool part about these is that they're completely turnkey. You turn them on, they preload to the last settings that they had. So all of this we made here on site and just pushed it via Wi-Fi. Connects via Wi-Fi, so all of the content very easy to upload. Plays on a loop. You can format everything to your liking. It's fantastic for wayfinding, for doing video formats and custom stuff. It's much brighter than a couple TVs slapped together. There's no seams, and you can kind of do whatever you want with it. So it'll roll through a bunch of programming, that we've preloaded on it. But it's very easy to upload, very easy to adjust, and it's turnkey, so you just turn it off and wait till the next day and do it again. So there's no massive setup times, things like that. So it's a very unique situation, especially for trade shows and retail market. And then our last product feature here that we brought to the booth this year is our brand new Flex Tour series panel. It is industry leading, not only in terms of setup, capabilities, just high-end performance, but it's also one of the tightest resolutions you can actually use in the production and trade show market. It's a perfect application for quick setup needs, trade show needs, where close range viewing distance, we're at 5-6 feet. And you're looking at an 8x5 wall that is very clean, no seams. It's not a bunch of TVs slapped together. And you're getting a different experience. There's a lot of older technologies that are lower resolution. They don't look as clean and as bright, or they'll have seams. And so this is kind of the cutting edge in terms of production market. And then one of the Froggy solutions is our Flex Curtain, and that's a great solution for those quick setup, super speedy needs. So really excited about our partnerships, really excited for our new products and the new things we're doing here. And it's our first time at IAPA, so we're excited to be here, and we're looking forward to next year. It's been a really great experience for us. Really enjoy the partnerships we have going on. So thanks to Chris and the Froggy team. It's been great to hang out with them, and it's been a great experience, especially when we're neighbors and we don't get to see each other all that often. So yeah, it is.
So I'll jump back in, and we're going to take you guys into the swamp room.
Oh, here we go.
We're going to take you guys in real quick into the swamp room.
Good luck adjusting your iris here.
This is, let you guys all get in here first. I'm not sure how great your cameras are going to pick up in a haze-filled environment, but this is our swamp laser swamp, and it's something we sell predominantly into the haunted attraction groups. And what's nice about it, it's been the most popular seller for these last several shows. You notice you have if you guys will let that door shut behind you, please. You have your laser that creates a flat area, and you can't really see what's under it. If you guys will stand away from that corner, please. Out of that corner behind you, please. Yeah. And so you'll see that it allows limited visibility below where you find the laser. What that allows you to do is find an actor or a prop and have them placed below. You in here, Jess?
I'm right here.
Oh, see. and she can disappear, boom, and she's gone. Just that quick. And so it's become one of the top scares you see in haunted attractions. Actually, I want you to do, if you're able, to do exactly what she did. Duck down below the laser level and look, and you'll see that you have the visibility clear under and clear over, but not clear in between. And so she's just able to pop up, come and go, or if you're under here, she could tap one of you on the leg and you would never see it coming, which will get your attention. But this is the laser swamp room, and that's something we sell as a complete package, ready to go. So all you have to do is build the containment, which is really easy to do. We'll step out here for just a minute. We'll get these guys to come over this way. You guys will come over this way. And the last couple things we'll talk about are here. You touched on it earlier, of course, are all of the scents, the mini scents. And scents have become the extra dimension that we've not had all that recently. You know, I mean, it's a dimension of effect that no one really thought about until about 8 years ago or so. It wasn't given a lot of attention, and now you're seeing, even at this show, among other people not affiliated with us, fragrance has now become a part of the integration of multi-D rides. I read a great article on a Southwest flight back late last year, and they talked about the one sense out of your 5 senses that you take from the cradle to the grave is smell. It's the one you have your longest memories affiliated with. How many of you walk in somewhere and it smells like your dentist office as a kid, and you just kind of, the hair stands up on your arm and you're like, oh, that's that smell, or it's the daycare center you went to and you hated the teacher, or those kind of things, or it was your elementary school, or all, you know, there's those smells and they're affiliated and they stick with you forever, they ingrain. Well, because of that, why would we leave that dimension that's so impactful out? And so we began to embrace that concept about 8 years ago. And there are everything here from good smells to bad smells. There's crushed lime mint, which is great in roller rinks and skating rinks because that citrus smell covers any shoes that might be affiliated with those locations. There are smells that smell like a slaughterhouse for Halloween events, and burnt electric and burnt rubber and gasoline and garlic and roses and cherry and strawberry and tropical and so many different things. But one of the big areas we've seen is the food item fragrances. You eat with your nose before you eat with your mouth. If you smell something, you're more tempted to go buy it. You know, you're thinking, if you smell popcorn and it starts to pop, you go, you know, I could use some popcorn. And if you didn't smell it, you weren't just driving by and go, you know, I think I have to have popcorn right now. It was your nose that told you that message. So you see in certain attractions where they're adding fragrances that pair up with food offerings they have in the location. It's increasing their revenue by pairing it with items they have for sale. Whether it's a barbecue pit in the middle of a theme park and they're not always making barbecue, but they pump the smell out in some fog to make it look like it. And you go, you know what, I need barbecue today. Or if you're in a family entertainment center and they're baking chocolate chip cookies that they sell there, and they go past in the lobby, they're smelling chocolate chip cookies the whole time. They hit the door and go, wow, chocolate chip cookies, that's what I need. And so you're eating with your nose. The nose also adds intimidation factor in the haunted attractions. You know, if you walk past in a haunted attraction and they have a plate of raw meat on the table in their slaughterhouse, that's one thing to see it, it's a little gross. But then when you hit the smell that goes with it, even though it's a mimic, well, that's a whole different level of fear. So it's impacting you across the board. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about the thing that brought us here to this place in life. That's where we started. That is who we are. The company is called Froggy's Fog. We are first and foremost a fluid maker. We're the only company I know of in the world with 104 fluid machine combinations that have been independently tested by Environ and are Actors Equity listed. And that's a big deal. You know, that you want to make the best ingredients for people to breathe. and you want to take the time to do it right. And we do those things. We follow those standards. We follow those guidelines to make the safest possible product and still keep it affordable. You know, with us, you're not dealing with the middle guy. We are the manufacturer. Our plant is located just outside Nashville, Tennessee, in a little town called Columbia. So it is an American-made product from top to bottom. It's not that we're importing part of it from China and part of it from here. It is truly an American-made product from the ground all the way up. And by cutting out the middle guy and allowing people to work directly with us, even a guy off the street who wants to buy just 1 gallon, they're getting really premium pricing and not having to cut the quality of product that they're exposed to, whether that's in the fog, haze, snow, bubbles, or other effects. I'd open it up to questions if you guys have any, and if not, thank you so much for coming.